All right, hello everyone. Finally, we're finally going with the episode, and this is going to be our first podcast-like episode, tentatively titled just podcast number one, Knights of the Shmup Table. well, originally just Frenetic called it the Shmup Round Table, but basically, yeah, we're going to be trying out a podcast format, see, this isn't actually going to be in the numbered STG Weekly series. I didn't tell you guys that. So this is going to be number one. But basically, the idea is we're thinking of doing a once a month podcast where we can actually talk about shmup stuff and, whatever. And so basically, this is going to be an experiment. And we're going to try to tantalize you with some voices of Frenetic yelling STG Weekly when he wins.
STG Weekly.
When he
so
wins.
I have a little song. We're Knights of the Shmup Table. We're willing and we're able. We're Knights of the Shmup Table. We're willing and able.
Well, yeah, willing and able, definitely keywords there. Because I was willing to hear that, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna be joined with basically the STG Weekly staple crew. We got Trap 15, we got Frenetic, we got Soda Machine, and we got Soft Drink. We got the sodas, we got the traps, we got your carbonated beverages, we got your Trap Futinaris, and we got your frenetically trying to win a match with Dan. On Street Fighter. So yeah, we got a couple things we're gonna talk about today, but basically we're just gonna be kind of going with whatever.
Yeah, it's been a good week, guys. I've been playing online on Steam and was able to beat one of the top Chun-Li players and also one of the top was it Bison? Anyways, it was pretty fun. And then I quit right afterwards, so I wouldn't have to rematch them again.
Was that offline?
While you're ahead.
No, it was online.
Online,
so
yeah.
I think it was Apexion and some other guy. Anyways, it was pretty awesome. Because Chun-Li, God, that matchup is so stupid.
I suppose you probably get zoned and poked out pretty much.
Yeah, I just got, but I did this Hail Mary run where I did like down Kyaku and then immediately Ultra. So he was doing like crouching fierce as total frame trap, and sick. Anyways, we'll talk about more about the F-Man's fighting game.
With some Dan antics. So yeah, we're not necessarily going to be talking all about shooting games. So we might veer off. I know we might talk a little bit about Evo, as that happened recently.
Yeah.
And we do have people in the shmups community that play other games besides shmups because you got to mix it up.
That's true. You got to have different waifus.
Like,
you got to get your video game harem going on. You know what I mean, guys? Wink, wink.
Like, I know a lot of people subscribe to having a shmup to play, but then like an RPG on the side, because then you have your fast-paced reflex action, but then you have you don't need to think game. You just play that too.
Yeah. It's like with different drugs, right? You're like, oh, I want to do some cocaine now, and then maybe a little meth, and then get some robo tested. I know you guys are out. No, I'm just saying.
Misunderstanding the spirit of shooting games. If you're gonna go all the way.
Oh, Gus is here.
That's like the Candyman version of Gus.
That's right.
Yeah, I can't quite get it right, but I'm trying.
Yeah, try. We gotta do it. Gus.
Yeah, we gotta have him back on the show.
I hope he will come back.
We keep bringing him up kind of a joking way, but that episode was truly fantastic. So yeah.
The only reason we keep on bringing him up is because he won't come back on, so we have to fill.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing is,
we have to fill the void.
People wonder where he is, but he's always online on my Skype, so I just need to message him and be like, "Hey man, what? I got some new Toho hentai for trade or whatever."
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could have him on, I don't know if he still remembers anything about Calida 2, because his runs in that were pretty amazing, and
Yeah.
I would love to see a proper episode about that, because frankly, the scoring system in that game is unbelievably complicated. So
Probably one of the most mindfuck scoring systems
Yeah,
out there.
it's stupid.
Next to probably Ibarra Black, which I've only heard some things about, and
oh, I need to play
I
that.
don't think Vara Kuro is too complicated.
Not that okay.
It has like
Stuff
3
points.
different systems, but none of them are that complicated on their own. I think what's complicated is that you have to kind of balance them, and some of them are worth a ton more points than others. So
Well, the complicated thing is you got to buy the PCB for a plus of $1,000 and then
It's complicated.
play it, right?
That's a big
pretty
complication.
Yeah,
it
that's a huge complication.
may or may not be semi-emulatable in certain, past versions of MAME. Just putting
Or
that out
if
there.
someone was gonna be really nice, hint Trap 15 was going to release something, but I don't know.
Yeah, we could use this episode also. It's just everyone can just request every hack from Trap 15 that they've ever at.
You can get refused personally by Trap 15 by voice online here on the Shmup Roundtable.
Like maybe so we're thinking of having people call in, but maybe at some point we could have people call in and with their dream hack,
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Your dream shmup hack.
Trap 15, can you combine the mechanics of Totem Pachi with Mushihi Misama multipliers and the Okay, the Trap 15 says
Yeah.
no. Did you say no? Or maybe yes?
No.
Yeah! You heard it here on Shmup Roundtable, podcast number 1. That's what's waiting for you when you guys call in.
So apparently our audio's cutting in and out. Is anybody else experiencing this? And Soda, you might want to take a look at what's going on. It could just be Skype craziness.
I don't hear anything on my end, but I'm gonna check it out.
Okay, I got a tweet from someone, but yeah, we'll look into it. Let us know how it sounds, guys. Like I say, first episode, so as usual, we'll have some issues.
Oh,
Is it
yeah.
everyone's audio who's cutting out, or just specific people?
The guy just said audio is cutting in and out, so it could be
Is there
whatever.
anyone else? Is anyone shouting? Because my shadow hasn't been moving for a while. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like microphone muted pop up on the stream. Like, are
Yeah,
you guys doing
it
like a
keeps
push to
popping
talk?
up.
Microphone's muting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so does mic keeps going on and off. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
I don't-
because I
they're
push to
probably-
talk.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
he's pushed
okay.
it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably not a problem then.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
a problem.
user says we're all good.
Okay, maybe it's just that one guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can get back to it.
Thank you
But
very much,
Blackheart-
Twitch Stat, for confirming that with us.
Yeah.
Test Joe,
appreciate it.
Blackheart replaced by one of the Choniki guys would be pretty lolzy.
Oh yeah, the dream hack.
Men's a beam.
Replace all the drum hits with manly grunting.
Manly good.
Man, those Choiniki soundtracks are pretty good.
It's
That's probably
really
the best
good.
part about the games.
Yeah, the music is. I think didn't it like chart or something like that? Yeah.
Chart? You mean like
Yeah.
make a chart? Like a top 10
Like
chart?
like it made the sales chart or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, something like I recall that in an interview about Choiniki. I'll try to find it while you guys talk.
Muser, I don't know if it's what you'd be looking for because it's only a few different games, but there's a Dojin game called Guang Dash or Guanga Dash or however the hell you say it. It's just kind of a mashup of a bunch of different shooting games, and it actually does have a boss rush mode, which is just bosses from a bunch of different games, all kind of in a row. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Finding it, though.
Hilariously stupid game, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the author got like a C&D or something from Cave, so he like unreleased it. So have fun finding it too.
Oh.
I actually think I have a copy here. Yeah, I definitely do. So if someone wants it, let me know and I can put it up on like Mega or something. So.
It's kind of, mixing the bosses has always been kind of a thing in shmups, like the Rising games. You use the various bosses in the various games in Batrider and well, in Batrider specifically, it's got like every boss from all of their games, but like Gradius too, as well, where like
Yeah,
you have
that's always been a thing I really liked about Rising games is they always like to throw in stuff from their older games, like Daimahu has Batrider and characters and old Maho characters, and Batrider's got tons of characters from earlier games and bosses and stuff. It's all really cool. Establishes some strange continuity that shouldn't really exist, but
well, yeah, it works out for those games too. Like it's not like copy pasted. Well, maybe it is, but it's not like in a bad way. Blackheart 2 is easier in Batrider though. Fuck Blackheart 2 and Garega.
yes, absolutely.
God. Yeah, I guess we're getting a little weird scratches from soft drink there. I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
hear
why
it
didn't you
anymore
guys
either.
say anything?
Well, it
Oh,
wasn't that
weird.
annoying.
I didn't hear it
Nope.
until we mentioned
heard
it.
I heard it, but I like it. I like that kind of weird. I love Mertz Bow and like all the Masonic, like those Japanese noise artists. So it's fine with me.
We got new genres of music going on here.
Yeah,
it was just the noise genre.
yeah, it's the noise genre. So guys, anything from the Twitch chat? Good to see you guys. We got 24 viewers there.
Yep.
Any questions or anything about the podcast? You guys having a good time? Relaxing?
Are we gonna let people call in, or are we just taking?
Yeah,
questions?
we could. Well, I do want to make an announcement about what we got coming up in the next month. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Go
do that
for it.
first.
We could do that first. So basically, we got the indie month of SCG Weekly. It's coming up. Month. Yeah. You got the combo title. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna do a whole month of indie episodes. We're gonna be talking with indie developers, probably for all of the episodes if we can manage that. And basically, I've already gotten in contact and confirmed one developer, and well, we can announce that too. The first episode is likely going to be with Brooks Bishop, who is the developer of Aeternium, which is on PC
awesome.
and Steam.
I think it's just Eternum.
Eternum,
I
okay.
don't think there's an I at the end there. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the only thing that's confirmed right now. We're still talking with the developers and stuff, but yeah, basically, it's been long overdue for the show to cover indie games a bit more. I mean, we did Super Amazing Wagon Adventure. I guess that was kind of a preview.
Yeah.
But we're going to be actually talking to some of the developers. So I'm really looking forward to that because I feel like there's a lot that we don't know that the general public,
development side, right?
yeah, a lot of people just don't understand what's like on that side, and so we're gonna have player and developer interactions because I think Kenny Man, he's pretty good on some of the shmups that we're gonna be trying to have the developers on for. And so we're actually going to be able to get a player and developer interaction also on some of these episodes, which is going to be really cool. Where it's like one of those things where, like I think Snafute, we're going to be trying to get the Chrono Blast and Chrono Burst episode as well. That's another one that's likely going to happen within the month. There's going to be 4 episodes total, but we're Snafute or Nordy Games. He said something that I'd lost my train of thought.
So yeah, well, like I said, we've been looking to the past with a lot of these videos that we're doing, like games that have been released, like past 10 years, some with the past like 15, and SCG Weekly is devoted to like kind of keeping the shooting game scene alive, and so the reason why we kind of ran up against this is this kind of podcast is going to be kind of like a great format and arena for that type of indie development talking, because not a lot of people know these games, so there's not a lot of replays, and so we can't do like kind of the same format of like, okay, let's watch a super play of this game, but this will give us and we also want to talk about what does it mean to program a shmup, to create a shooting game. And these indie developers, can talk about, like, you'll learn about different types of programming languages that they use. Maybe you've been wanting to program a shmup, and then you can go ahead and ask questions directly of these developers and say, okay, how'd you get started? Or I'm stuck at a certain point of my personal shmup that I'm creating, and what is it like to be on Xbox Live, or how do you release your independent shmup, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, basically we're gonna find out a lot, I think, and it's gonna change from episode to episode like it usually does on the show as far as kind of what we learn, because like you say, we won't actually have super plays for probably most of the games. I mean, maybe videos that will show off the scoring at least. That's the goal. If it has a scoring
some really
system,
good plays of Chronoblast though.
That's
a couple people have really.
That's what I was going to, and I lost my train of thought. eMuser, he's really good at Chronoblast, but it's the case of where he found out stuff about the game that the developer didn't even know, like how what was going on. It was a moment of like, yeah, the player surpassed the developer and like what's actually going on in the game. I always find that funny because it's like it seems to be the case a lot of the times, because like the developers aren't often good enough to play like at the high level. Like it just seems to be the case, they like to make the games more than play them sometimes. At least that's kind of what I feel like it was with a lot of the older developed like arcade games and stuff. Like a lot of the developers just couldn't play them that much. But I think it still seems to be the case.
They just don't really think of what players might do. Like you don't think, oh, this player is just gonna stick with this one weapon the entire game and not gonna bother trying out the other ones, or like, hey, he's gonna take advantage of this scoring opportunity every single time and not try any of the other ones because they're worth less.
Yeah, right.
Also, we're gonna have like sometimes the teams of the games, because some of the games aren't just one guy; they're teams. So also like talk to other people that are involved in development as well for the when we do this whole thing. So yeah, Indie Month, pretty hype. I think it's gonna be awesome. And Brooks Bishop, who's already on board, is really happy to actually do this. So long time coming, and there's just a ton of indie developers and stuff making shmups.
Making shmups.
There's just a ton of them doing shmups. Like it's actually like kind of popular within indie, it seems.
That's right. I feel like making shmups.
Like that Flash game, dinosaurs shooting unicorn purple lasers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that
Did
game
you try
came
that
out
out?
so long ago, but yeah, I played it a long time ago. If it's the same one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's just funny because it's like that game, silly games like that can get popularity, and then it's like, to me, that was like a game like Super Amazing Wicked Adventure Turbo.
That was a really entertaining episode, Super Wagon. I was like,
really?
yeah. I mean, like, where you're like, I'm gonna go fantasize about putting these players together in a wagon, and it was really touching when like it was like, oh, he got you a flower, and then they went in the tent. That's what we're about, Chowaniki and those type of games. Like it told a real narrative story. People dying, people falling in love, people dying then falling in love.
It was a unique game.
To interrupt this train of thought, and there's just a question from the chat while it's still relevant. Chibi UFO, yes, the STG Weekly shirts, we have gotten a prototype print batch. The cast was actually wearing them throughout our event at Anime Expo a couple weeks ago, so we can confirm the print quality, and we are pretty much set to start actual production. So we're going to be putting up some updates about that on Twitter, Facebook, and we're going to make a short couple videos about that probably as well. We definitely do want to put those out there, and we should be, like I said, starting a print run fairly soon. So If you do check the thread, there's already a couple pictures of them, and I'm going to take a couple nicer ones soon when we make a proper announcement about it. But I mean, my schedule is crazy, and I still have to go through the Anime Expo stuff, so it's just another step. But it should be happening soon. We are definitely ready. So.
Yeah, the official print is going to be hyped because I've at least heard from like probably 12 people that they will get shirts, maybe 10. But they will actually get shirts, so I think we actually have a lot of people that just want one.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more than that even because the interest check thread got a lot of hits as well, and it had that's only just within the shmups community and people that we directly talk to. So we definitely need to kind of get the word out a little bit more. So I'm thinking of putting together a very, very short video just for YouTube, like, hey, STG Weekly is releasing T-shirts, you can buy them here, yeah. So you know, just being really overly enthusiastic and something short and quick that people just notice on our channel and are like, hey, this is a thing. So, but yeah, it should be, you know, that's definitely happening soon. We need to work out final logistics as far as how payment is going to work. We are thinking probably it's going to be a pre-order system, kind of like oh, gentlemen, just PM me on the forum. I can give you that in literally 2 seconds. I have backup copies of all of the posters that we have. In fact, we have a couple leftover signed posters from Anime Expo that we'd like to sell. I'm not looking for much, maybe like $10 shipped or something. Literally just like pay me to ship it to you, and I will do that. Oh, can someone pop up a link to the farm? Here, I'll try to do it.
Okay.
But yeah, I will, here we go.
Sure.
There we go. Yeah, if anyone's interested in one of the posters, the design is up in one of the other threads, and we're holding them in that thread, and I'll post a couple pictures of them before. But yeah, we do have some signed posters as well. We'll be trying to get out for like $10 shipped. So literally, that's just covering the cost of shipping and like $2 for the print, which was
like
that's
really nice.
$1.50 each. Yeah.
I think I want one of those. Those posters are sick.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'll definitely give you one.
Yeah.
Right, there's not only 4 available. Get on this quick, guys.
I just want to say that this is the F-Man here, I put my signature on. Also, the dot above the I is a little heart. So if that encourages you all out in Twitch chat, please get one, because I've drawn little hearts on each of the posters.
Yeah, Frenetic's signature is basically the best thing ever, so you want one.
Buy it. Buy it.
And we also have Onisan Trap 15 in there.
Onisan!
that is the character you used, right, Trap?
Yeah, Ani, Big Brother.
Oh, that's what yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You guys will get signatures for the STG Weekly crew. You know, you priceless treasure. Be worth millions of dollars in just a few years, definitely.
Yeah, you heard it here, guys. Get in while the going's getting good.
Arcade stick covers. If you want me to design something for you, PM me and let's talk about it. I'd love to do work on something like that. I've done a couple for other people on the forum or in IRC. So Starman, please, if you are on the forum, then just shoot me a PM. I'm SoftJump017 on there, and I will gladly do up a design just for you for an arcade stick or something. So probably not for free, but like $10. I'm not really looking for much from that. So, but anyway,
I'll have to ask you about that too, because I've been kind of wanting one for mine, because I'm getting sick of the Canva Q4 stock one that I've had for years.
Yeah, me too, because I have this Real Arcade Pro 2 on mine too, and I'm just like, oh, it's kind of cool. But
yeah, just send me a little bit, like send me a PM, talk about what you guys want me to do, and I'll get started on it. I have a gigantic repository of shooting game imagery. I'm just
oh yeah.
I think I have literally like 5 gigabytes of, no, more, way more.
Wow.
Just like shooting game images and ultra high res. So I can do all
like
kinds of
Choaniki
stuff.
art. If I could get a
I don't have any Choaniki art yet. 27 gigabytes. What? Okay, that's a lot more than I was expecting.
Ooh.
I don't have any Choaniki stuff in here yet, but you know, all of the Rising games, all of the Cape games, the Strikers series, some other random stuff here and there, and I know kind of where to look for more. So if anyone's interested, just let me know. either through like the Shmups forum or Shmups IRC or on YouTube. I'm SoftDrink117 on YouTube. So just let me know, and I will try to put something together for you. So
cool. All right, well, we could probably move on to our actual shmup questions that Frenetic you generated earlier.
Yeah. So, guys, now are we going to the call-in part of the show now?
Well, are we gonna do our responses, or do we already know like some of our stories? I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, no, let's go for so.
And then we can take calls after.
About, the first question is, and I'm gonna post this in the chat, and then you guys in Twitch land can go ahead and start ruminating on the question. What was the first shmup that got you into shmups? Like, I mean, you might have been playing like the first shmup that you encountered. You might have gone like, oh, that's cool. But what was the first one that really got you in, and then you really played a lot? So
yeah, that seems to be the thing with this genre, is when people like find out like what it is that makes shmups cool, whether it be a scoring systems or just surviving or whatever. Like, you get that like hook, you know. Like OG, yeah. So exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I know mine, but who wants to start?
I guess I'll start.
Yeah, go for it.
So I've said this a bunch before, so you probably already know, but Flying Shark is...
Hell yeah.
It's not the first shooting game I ever played, but it's the first one that I actually really cared about and wanted to play a lot, and ended up getting me into the genre, really. So
what particular thing about Flying Shark got you into it? Like, can you recall, like, well, this is a game that I'm going to spend a lot of time with?
It's really simple, and the music's really good, and it looks really nice, and the stages are... It's like a weird balance between hypnotic and, like, I wouldn't say easy, but like you can sort of get the rhythm going, and it feels good.
So you could find your rhythm. See, yeah. This is what we were talking about in the Shmup Weekly podcast, like, or STG Weekly podcast, is like, this gives us a chance to talk about rhythm, you know, like the rhythm of a shmup.
Yeah, Flying Shark is definitely like that. Like,
it's like the Toa Plan rhythm, you know, because the waves, the planes come out like at different, like in different groups, right? And in a rhythm.
They like alternate between left and right, center, and they do that like throughout most of the stages and most of the game. So you sort of get this cool rhythm down, then it's sort of broken up by the ground enemies, and it just feels.
And it's one of those. I think one of the main things about it, though, is the ship speed matches the speed of the bullets really well, and like kind of how it manages the aggression of the enemies really well. So like basically the whole time you're just kind of weaving left and right, sweeping across the whole screen, the left and right.
Yeah, and it's a must mechanic, right?
And that's a really fundamental thing about shmups. But if you just do that in Flying Shark, like you'll beat the first few stages.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I really like it as a beginner one, because when you beat a stage 2, it also refills your bomb stock. So it's just like all these nice things that make it fun to play.
It has that Toa Plan feel, like, to chime in, like Kyokyo Tiger. That you're right, Trap 15, about that. Yeah. They come in groups. They even there's like a sprite swap with certain planes, like. Yeah, at least in Kyokyo Tiger, they have different behavior, and they move back and forth, and then you're like, oh, I got to come in at an angle instead of just like left to right, or I'm coming in at a 60-degree angle up or 60-degree angle down to draw bullets, right? Like,
yeah,
it's not just like moving side to side in like one type of angle, but plus the FM music is so good. That synthesis chip is like.
Yeah, it's got a very unique sound. Like, I don't think I really hear much that sounds similar.
Did you play that just in MAME originally?
Yeah, I think the first time I played that, I was like what 11 or something, and I had just downloaded MAME. And
Holy
just
crap! You played MAME when you're 11?
Whoa.
Like I was just looking through games, and I was like, I don't know any of these. So I like Flying Shark. That's awesome.
Yeah. I was mashing on Earthbound when I was 11. Shit.
I don't know if I was even sentient at 11. Like, it took me a long time, but like, did I know how to tie my shoes back then? I don't know. The F-Man.
I don't know how old I was. It was just like a ridiculously long time ago that I can't really remember. So, yeah.
That's cool. That that appealed to you right away. I like to
Yeah.
recommend that as a beginner shmup, so it's really cool that that was the one that got you into it as well. That was one of the shmups I kind of liked to play a lot, like after I originally got into them too. I love that game. Such a good game. Play Flying Shark. The arcade version if you can. The NES version, I don't know. Just play the arcade version.
NES port's kind of,
Just play MAME because you can, alright?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the NES version has music by Tim Fallon, but you know, aside from that, it's kind of mediocre.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay, we can move on probably. Frederick, how about you?
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta say it probably was Armed Police. Wait, let me see. What was I playing seriously? You know what? It was probably Armed Police Bat Rider
Really?
because it was the original mode that. And what happened was I was working the forum for about a year before I joined. This was back in 2010, I think. And there was a lot of back and forth to people, hey, let's go meet in person. And when Arcade Infinity was around, rest in peace, we finally decided to go there for our first shmup meet in SoCal. Or at least the one that I went to, the first SoCal shmup meet that I went to. And then I ended up meeting Necronopicus, Creighton, and Shurin, who were some of the guys that played down here. And then we ended up going to Creighton's house, and he had cabs, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what the heck is this?" You know? And he's like,
So wait. So you initially but your initial spark was it playing Bat Rider?
it was when I got really, really into it. Like I had played Mooncresta before, and you know, I played Tiger Heli at like the local liquor store.
Yeah.
When I was very young, like maybe, you know, like around 10, 11, yeah.
But like you looked up like the forum like pretty quickly.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, now I have like a real life interaction with people instead of just like words on a screen. Because I basically when I met people in real life about shmups,
Yeah.
and like played with them in person, then I had an attachment to it. Because like I couldn't get a really hold on other people that were into it.
Right.
So once meeting people in person, it was really crucial for me. So I remember when Creighton had he had a New Net City, and he had Armed Police Bat Rider on it, and I had never heard of Rising or anything like that. And I was like, oh, what is this game I've never heard about? It's like, oh yeah, you might have heard of Cave, but this is Rising. I was like, who's Rising? And it's like, all right, well, there's this different shmup developer that came out, and I was like, what is this? So I played that, and it was, and again, it was like easy to get into because it had great music. It had like really the outlandish ones, like Fantastic, and they had such a cast of characters.
Best game ever.
Yeah, and so like just like that first stage where it's like there's cop cars around there, you know, you blow up the safes on the boss and money's flying, and you have to pick up the money.
It's a great first stage.
And yeah, and it's just like wonderful, and it's like and the music is so good. So,
yeah, I mean that was like the pinnacle of '90s gaming. Is basically Armed Police Bat Rider.
Yeah, and it has a weird name. You're like, Armed Police Bat Rider, what kind of name? You're riding bats, and you read the storyline, and there's like psychics in there, and it's just like all that, you know. There's so much information in that game, just like the bullets, like it comes at you like that. And but again, it's like an easy shmup to get into. Like the 1cc is not super duper difficult. Like you have to spend some time with it, like at the beginning player. But you know,
Normal Course is just a great place to start for rising beginners.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I won CC'd that game, and I remember because I was in Creighton's living room,
Nice. Man.
and I was
You beat Blunt
was-
or something? Damn, man.
yeah. No, I was
Was
the
it?
normal mode. Yeah, or yeah.
Yeah, you fight Blunt, Envy, or Sobutt.
And then you're talking
Yeah.
about the training mode.
Oh, the training mode, really?
Yeah.
I don't think you
stages?
fight. I think it's only 3 stages. Yeah.
I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
a free.
I totally forgot about that. But
Yeah.
that's like a special unlock even too, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
No, training's available from the big from default, but
Oh,
I gotta chime in here. Training was the first thing I did to beat Bat Rider 2, and then I ended up playing normal like the next credit and cleared that too. So
Oh
it's,
wow.
it's
Yeah.
it's good to play that training mode if you're new to Bat Rider because it's short, it's not too hard, but it really tells you how to play the game.
It
And,
does.
You know, you see stage 5, so you get like the actual ending for normal stage 2, except it's
Yeah.
easier. It sort of just introduces you to all the patterns and stuff.
does it just does the first stage and then the last 2 stages of advanced? Is that what it is? I forget.
Yeah.
No, it's the first stage, and then it picks one of the 3 random stages, just like it ran, instead of you being able to select the 3 stages. So it just picks one of those from random, and then does stage 5.
Okay.
So yeah, I remember when I think that was my first 1cc. I like fell to the ground and just like was just like yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. And it's like, you can start with, the training modes and etc. Because I mean, they're there, the novice modes, etc. And you can still get that sense of satisfaction from it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like,
I think they're really
That's-
underrated. There's kind of a sense, especially in the Shmup forum community. I feel like people kind of look down on some people kind of look down on those who play novice modes and whatnot, and they're there for a reason. I mean, there's no shame at all in playing those to clear and learn how to play. I mean, obviously once you're at a certain skill level, playing a novice mode and clearing it is like, this is not really worth my time. But it's still fun, and it's still, it's definitely worthwhile. I mean, like I said, they're there for a reason, and they need to get more love. So I think people get really intimidated by the idea that you have to play the game in the exact arcade mode, you have to do it perfectly, you have to blah 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 blah.
No,
But,
and that's this is casual. We need to be like, I actually did a thing where I kind of like looked up like the most vocal, some of the people that were like kind of, hold on for a sec. They're coming after
Shmup
me.
police. Oh, armed police,
They're
Bat
coming
Rider.
Oh no, yeah, that's right. They heard
Blow
me
up that
talking.
blow up that cop car for 1,000 points with the bomb.
Yeah. So,
with the bomb is the keyword there.
a lot of the shmups, like people that are vocal on shmup forum about saying, oh, that's easy mode. They don't really post scores that much because I kind of lurked on their posts. So don't listen to the guys. Play novice. You're on your own journey.
Well, I mean, it's like shmups are one of these like skill-based genres, kind of like rhythm games, etc. And DDR, etc. They have novice modes too. So if you just view it like that, like, I mean, you got to start somewhere,
Yeah.
And if you can get a novice mode to help you ease you into it, that's really helpful.
It is about the journey. So that's
it's
about it.
awesome.
Armed Police Bat Rider was kind of like the first one that got me into
That's
it.
a great one to really confirm for you. That's cool. Great game. All right, how about you, soft drink? I guess I'll be the one that goes last.
Soda's gonna talk. We're gonna have Soda Machine talk.
Oh
So
yeah, I was
you
gonna
ain't getting out
get
of
soda
this
too.
easily, Soda.
I wasn't gonna forget soda.
I can in 7 minutes.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
All right then.
Okay.
You got
Well, I guess I'll just talk then.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't really know what the first shmup that I ever played was. When I was younger, I'm trying to think. I think like around middle school, like maybe 11 or 12, I was playing like the ride-in games at a local pizza place a lot. It was this one particular pizza place that the owner must have really liked the series because in the same cabinet as they came out, he had first Raiden and then Raiden 2 and then Raiden DX and then Dio a little bit later.
Whoa.
which is a very different game, but also pretty awesome. So I have a lot of fond memories of those games. And
Oh, you have to play them all.
I never got really like good at them at that point, obviously, but I played them a lot. And then a little bit later, I got I think it was R-Type Final, actually. Ironically enough, was one of the other ones that I played a lot when I was younger. That's a very slow-paced game, but it really, I think it helped me develop a lot of the skills that I've had, that have helped me learn to play shooting games better. Because it's a game where, I mean, you unlock so much of the content and so much of the game just through like playing it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And as a direct result of that, you basically memorize the game. And so I don't know if I could clear it now, but I know that I cleared it a couple times back then, which was I didn't have a sense of accomplishment. I was just like, oh, that was cool, because I didn't understand the concept. I didn't really like think this is what I'm supposed to do. I was just like, oh, I'm just playing the game and I'm playing it reasonably well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting game. I think that it gets a lot of hate. That I can see why.
It's not bad, but
I can really see why. It's got really terrible slowdown. And Amuser is just saying in chat, he wishes it was better optimized because it can be played faster emulated than
that
real
would probably
hardware.
make it a much cooler game.
Yeah, and it's very true. I mean, it's legitimately like a very fun game, and I wouldn't necessarily call it a balanced shooting game, because especially once you get enough of the selection, it's like the final 3 ships. Literally, you can outfit with any of the other weapons in the entire game, and so you can make a ship with the strongest cannon and the strongest force unit and the best bits, which is a lot of fun, but it gets ridiculously easy. So I mean, like I said, it's not exactly a balanced game, and some of the ships are complete jokes, but I think part of what makes it so fun is that there are 101 ships to play through the game with, and almost all of them are unique.
Kind of like
a
spectacle, the game.
Yeah, it's just kind of like this overwhelming amount of stuff to do.
Because like when you get those ships, it's like the beams are bigger. It's like you use them, you're like, whoa, that's awesome.
Trap, I think there's 6 or 7 stages in the normal run, depending on exactly how you play it.
Oh wow! So that's
yeah, six stages. There you go.
So that's pretty significant then.
Yeah, it's pretty, and the last stage is quite long, depending on which one you do.
Okay.
There's 3 alternate last stages, and there's 3 alternate last stages, and a couple alternate stage 5s as well. Is that right? No,
yeah.
There's a couple alternate stage 6s, and then there's 3 alternate ending stages. And they're all pretty damn long, actually. All of the stages are upwards of 5 minutes. I think by the end of stage 4 was the 30-minute mark with the game, on original hardware. So,
like, you can like eat like a 3-course meal during some of those stages.
Soft drink. You mentioned about the pizza parlor. What's your favorite pizza top?
Oh God. See, that's a hard question to answer. It's
or a combo of pizza toppings that you like.
If it's like a traditional like American style pizza, like with tomato sauce base and everything, then usually it's gonna be pepperoni and sausage with, if they offer it, hot peppers as well.
Ooh, spicy. That's very aggressive pizza.
Dude,
the reason why I bring that up.
There's a couple other things. I'll add like. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, this says PZA Weekly.
Yeah, the pizza.
Pizza Weekly.
Yeah.
There's let's see. But then if they do completely custom stuff, I love chicken pesto pizza. Like places that make that, I just go ape shit. It's fantastic.
Does it have the red sauce or like a white sauce?
It depends on the place, but sometimes it's actually a pesto sauce, like it's a completely custom sauce.
Oh, the pesto. Oh, gotcha. That green stuff.
There's also there's places that make like a garlic chicken with like a white cream sauce, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's oh god damn it, now I'm getting really hungry for
I was gonna
pizza.
say barbecue chicken.
You heard it. Maybe we could get some sponsorship here on STG.
And I love calzones as well. So if a restaurant makes calzones, I will get a calzone and just love my life. So
Maybe we
there's
could,
a place here. There's a place here that makes a chicken Alfredo calzone, and they serve it with tomato sauce, and you pour the tomato sauce inside the calzone and eat it like a sandwich, and it is just amazing.
Oh wow,
Oh,
that's awesome.
It'd be funny if we could like call a pizza place like on the call, on the group call.
I know, huh? We could order a pizza. Maybe
Yeah, we'd like a delivery
Sponsorship.
to.
And then
Minnesota.
they just hear like all these guys talking.
Minnesota in Ohio. Can you do that? Thanks.
Thanks. I'm gonna send you a link to a band called La Home Run, which is a Vampire Weekend's rap band before called Pizza Party. So you guys can listen to that later.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, my friends tell me I have a gift for describing food in ways that makes people hungry, but it works on me too, so it's a problem.
You're like self-programming yourself. Well, we're gonna.
But to kind of finish addressing this question really quickly, since Soda I think will be available now. The game that I really started getting into, though, the kind of the first shooting game that I took seriously was Ikaruga, and that was I've mentioned this a few times on this show, but junior year of high school, I got really busy with AP and IB classes and studying for the big tests and everything. That we're kind of gonna, like, oh, this, doing well on this AP test is going to decide the colleges that you get into, which will decide your future. So it's one of those things where you get like really overwhelmed, and so I would play Ikaruga, especially the final stage, as a kind of like a way to relax, because it's it's a shmup, it's short, it's high intensity, it's a really great way to just like play a game, have an awesome time for 10-15 minutes, and then go do whatever.
That last stage is pretty damn good.
The last stage is amazing. I mean, like the music is timed so well to the action, and then Tagari, the final boss, he's just like, oh, and it's this giant like 3-stage fight, and
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely the best part of the game.
I think I'm still top 15 worldwide for the final stage prototype hard mode.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I got to a really high level of proficiency with that stage in when I was in high school. So, and obviously, like I said, I have very mixed feelings about Ikaruga in general. More recently I've gone back to it, and every time I try to play it, I'm just like, no, I just can't get with it anymore.
Oh dang! It's
and,
like an
How come?
It feels like it's mocking me. Like it's a game where the correct path is so clear every single step of the way, and it's so easy to know that you're about to mess up, but you can't correct it in time, because like if you're the wrong polarity and you do it like just that split second, like when you realize, oh shit, I'm the wrong polarity in this moment, and then you die. And even if you press the button to switch, you're not fast enough. It's like there's that little bit of a delay, and it happens so often in that game. And and it really kind of feels like it's mocking me. It's like, oh, you fucked up. You're terrible. You should never play this game again. So there's that, and there's the fact that it has so little room for optimization, other than following the exact same route that everyone else already aims for. I mean, there's like one exact way to play Ikaruga. And one of the things that I've realized about why I like shooting games, well, like some shooting games opposed to others, I should say, is that I like experimentation and I like finding my own route. It's why I love Rising games. It's why I love Ibarra in particular, because there's so much randomness. I mean, no two runs are ever even remotely the same. Even though you have a route that you're aiming for, it's a completely different kind of experience. I mean, it's not like Ikaruga, where literally every single step of the game is like there is one correct way to do it and exactly one correct way, and if you're off by like a second, you're boned.
Yeah.
So I did finally clear it on easy, admittedly, but I mean that's still a pretty damn tough game. And I've had my closure with it, so we're good now. I can put that behind me. But it's been a very fun journey, and I'm glad that I was able to kind of come full circle with that game for sure. So
yeah, I've always wanted to kind of play that one a bit more myself. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I think Soda's ready.
Yeah,
to
I'm
go
ready.
now, so.
Yeah, go for it.
So,
introducing soda.
God damn it. Well, I do remember that my very first shmup was some kind of NES game when I was like 3-4 years old, maybe. I think it was called Star Force or something.
Oh my!
Just want to throw that out. I remember.
So that's like one of your first. Is that like one of your first memories?
That's one of my first memories of a shmup. Yes. And I
In
remember
general.
liking it a lot.
Okay.
You were 3 or 4. Wow, that's amazing, Soda.
Yeah, I remember getting to like third stage or something.
So that just lets you know that these are games that you play that are fun.
And then I didn't touch a single shmup until 2006.
And
That
then-
will say 10 years later.
Yeah.
When,
That's-
Yeah.
What shmup touched you after that?
Well, what happened was that I was getting into Japanese culture and stuff like that, and being a young teenager and stupid, I was searching for random music on the internet. I came across this one music which I liked a lot, and I wanted to show it to friends. So I searched on YouTube because, uploads was sucked back then, and MSN and stuff like that, so it was easy to just link a YouTube video. And I found a PV of it.
What's a P? Like a
Fuck, I don't know what it stands for. It's Japanese at least.
Okay.
But
promotional
okay.
video or something?
it
Or?
was
Oh,
something like that.
Hmm.
But it was Odenpa Love Girl, which is a Shirno remix.
Shinra.
Shirno, Toho.
Oh, Cyrano.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, Cyrano.
So
from
I
Toho,
was
right?
I was searching up about it, and I found a Wikipedia link for it about Toho, which later made me find a demo version of Toho 7.
Right.
I played that and was like, oh my god, all these bullets!
Yes.
Yeah.
Playing on easy,
Yes.
and I remember
I think. Yeah.
when you're so new to shmup, you see more bullets than there actually are.
7 is Perfect Cherry Blossom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I should play that again. That's one of the Toho games that I actually really like. I think that and Subterranean Animism are the two that I'm really that I really engage with.
Those are the two
like
worst
that,
ones for me.
right?
Anyway, so
I-
I was trying to show it around to friends that was really interesting, but I enjoyed it and played it every now and again.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 2 years later when I got, new school, new friends, and I tried to dig deeper into this, and I found out the other games, and none of my new friends were still interested in about it. But I started to play Embodiment of Scarlet Devil a lot. That is the first window game, because it was the first one in the series. I remember actually managing beating it on normal. There wasn't so much about Toho yet, though, or shmups overall, because I was still alone. It wasn't until 2010
Still
I went to a
alone.
convention. Yes, I was still
So
alone.
you went to convention.
Yeah, 2010. I went to a convention for the first time, and it was me and 3 other friends were like, yeah, convention first hype, Toho, no, not Toho, but anime, nerdy things like that. And
Yeah.
like every other convention that you have nothing to do, you go around for 2 hours and then you're bored. You have no plans of what to actually do. So we managed to somehow survive the first 2 days, and on the very last day, we never slept the day before because the place where we slept at was very horrible, so it was just not worth it. It was nearly midnight on the second last night, and we were just bored. We were trying to stay awake, just sitting there on the top floor. And I was like, you know what? If I just keep sitting here, I'm gonna fall asleep. So I'm just gonna go over there, like 30 meters, and I'm gonna look out at the convention for a few seconds, and I'm gonna go back and have something to do. And on the way back, I passed these people, and then I stop, and I'm back, and like, I recognize that. That's Toho! And then you had like,
Oh.
there's like 7 people sitting in a group together just playing Komoju Densetsu 1 on hard mode. That's Tohovania, by the way.
Mm.
I immediately just took a chair and sat there for the rest of the time.
And what drew you in?
Yeah.
Was it like, oh, real people are playing it? Like, is it just the novelty of watching other people play the game? Was that, or
Just having other people with the same interest cool. You know, we switched the controller because hard mode is pretty hard. And then we played other stuff like Toho Bomberman, which is amazingly fun if you have 4 people. I recommend that.
oh, did you play? So you got to play?
Yes,
like,
I got to
when
play
they started
some.
playing? Were they passing around the controller after someone died,
Yeah.
or? Oh.
I mostly only talked to one person back then because he was the only one who talked with other people. What happened later was that I managed to find him online and I got invited to this MSN group. This was like the prequel of the Toho Sweden community.
Ah, okay.
N-
Wow.
Oh.
So you're
um,
OG. So you're OG Toho Sweden.
Yeah.
uh,
OGG.
this MSN group didn't last very long.
OGTH.
To begin with, you could only fit 20 people into that group, so a lot of people went outside. And there was like
Okay.
internal fighting stuff like that because there was no regulations and no rules and stuff like that.
Oh, I'm the MSN group, or
Yes.
What is this? Okay,
Oh,
this is
there's
like.
lawlessness.
So,
No
the
Okay,
person
I never
who-
did the MSN stuff myself.
So the person who created
Yeah,
that
I
group,
was
he
hoping-
decided, fuck it, I'm gonna start a fucking forum and start a real community.
Oh,
which
okay.
he opened on the next convention that very day, and I was the very first member because I was so hype about it. However,
Wow, the first
that's just
member.
my Toho story. What really got me into shmup, because I was just, you know, playing Toho. I wasn't really playing it seriously. It was
Yeah.
maybe 2.5, 3 years ago when we had a mini meetup at a friend's house. And I got to learn about Toho 8 and all its rules and score running mechanics like that. And I remember it fascinated me so much, and how easy I somehow understood and started to play it. And suddenly every shmup changed for me.
Yes.
As soon as you start score running, you don't see them the same way anymore.
It's
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah, it's
It's like-
so true.
Wow. It's like an open
like-
door.
it's like
This is
this
so
is a
much
video
more
game.
fun.
It's like this is a real video game.
Yeah, I have a purpose of playing this, and I'm enjoying it. It just feels amazing. And it's a curse because whenever there's a new shmup game, I'm trying to score on it from, you know, try number 1, and it fails horribly.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
The curse of
Yeah.
scoring.
But I can get more points if I do this, but it's so risky.
I think that
Yeah.
happened to Soft Drink when he was playing Galuda 2, right?
Huh?
When you're trying to play Galuda 2, you're just
Oh.
scoring too much.
Yeah, exactly. It was like Gluta 2 is like, oh, this game looks like it has a really fun, interesting scoring system, so I'm gonna try to play it. I'm gonna try to score, and yeah. And then that predictably ended terribly. And then Akos was just like, dude, just stop using Zetsushikai, or whatever. Whatever.
Zetsu Bukaki. That's kind of a joke in our shmup group here.
Yeah.
It's yeah, there's a few different translations of it, but anyway, just stop using the second over mode and
Right.
just use the first one to survive. And I did, and I was like, wow, this is a really good game.
You're like,
Because before that, it was like, oh, game over like stage 3 or stage 2 even, because it's like trying to manage all this bullshit and do all these crazy scoring tricks. And then when you just actually like let it go and play it, sometimes that reverse is true. Like when you let go of the scoring in a game that you really don't understand how to score, it can be so much more engaging. But then the reverse is also true. Like when I play Ibarra, I have to play for score. I can't not play Ibarra for score. And like I've tried a couple times. Like Kempop is always like, Soft Drink, you score too much. You need to just play low rank and stop being good. That kind of thing.
yeah, you gotta fill it all up with low level clears.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, yeah, I've cleared, 13 times. You only cleared 4 times. And I'm like, yeah, but fuck you. My scores are all in the F range, so. Or I guess it's not quite. They're in the DE range, but F is my goal. I'm almost there. I keep having good runs, and just not quite hitting it. Anyway, if I try to play for, just survival, without scoring, it's just so boring. There's just nothing happening. It feels like a completely different game. So I think it's definitely... learning to score or learning to give up on score can be a really powerful experience with this genre, and it's kind of a very personal thing. I mean, I think the game whatever game you resonate with, that's what you have to push for score, and whatever games you have fun playing, but they don't really stick to you in that same way. I mean, they can be amazingly fun just to play for survival. Most of the Toho games I don't enjoy playing for score at all. Not even remotely, but I like them for survival. I do. I think that they're legitimately fun and challenging for survival. And there was actually a week when I was just like, I just feel like playing Toho. So for a solid week, all I did was play Toho games on normal, and I actually cleared 5 games in that week. I cleared Imperishable Night, Phantasmagoria, Flower View, Mountain of Faith, Subterranean Animism, and UFO, all in 5 days, and it was a great week. I mean, it was a lot of Toho. I haven't had the urge to play a Toho game in a while because of that, but it was a lot of fun.
What was the most painful for you?
What? Oh god. UFO definitely. Actually.
Oh, but by painful I mean the one that you enjoyed the least, I guess.
Oh.
Not the hardest one, but the one that
UFO.
Was hardest in that you didn't really want to do it, but you did it anyways.
By the time I got to UFO, I was kind of burnt out on it, to be honest. So I didn't actually find it that much harder than the other games, but then again, I was playing on normal, not Lunatic, so UFO on Lunatic is crazy. But the thing that bugged me the most was I only had a couple hours left on the clock. I think I had 4 or 5 hours left before that 5th day was over, and I was like, I want to clear 5 games in 5 days. I got to do that. And I kept getting to the last boss and getting to her last attack, and then getting a game over when she was literally 2 or 3 seconds away from dying. Just that tiniest 2 pixel sliver of health left. And
oh yeah, I know that pain.
It's happened 8 times in a row or something. It was bad. But yeah, I mean, it was a very fun week. So, and like I said, recently I have been feeling a little bit of an urge to go back to some of the games, particularly Perfect Cherry Blossom and Subterranean Animism, and maybe Mountain of Faith, as was mentioned in the chat a couple minutes ago. And I may try playing for score. We'll see. I don't know if I'm ready to make that commitment yet, but we'll see.
So. All right. Mm-hmm. Hey, Soda, did you have anything to add? Because I kind of derailed that away from you.
I have just one more thing I want to add. Thank for the community. I met Shum, and it's thanks to Shum that I know of STG Weekly. So it's thanks to Shum that we have nice 720p live stream.
Yeah.
So shout out to Shum.
He's the key to quality.
Chum.
Yay! Okay.
It wasn't really a chant.
Chum.
Alright. That's terrible.
It's fun to say.
Yes.
Call in, Chum.
Sounds like cum.
Join the call.
All right, yeah, we can get some people on the call.
Yeah, let's open it up.
Let's call. Okay, now we're gonna call in. So how are we gonna do this, Aqua?
Well, yeah. So basically, people can just call the account STG Weekly on Skype. It's as simple as that. I think I might need to set it so you don't need to add me as a friend. I might need to do that actually. Okay. But try to do that. Try to add me as a contact, regardless, and I'll add you. But I'm gonna see if I don't need to get people added here. Allow anyone to call me. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, call Aquas. Call.
And once again, the question is, what shmup got you into shmups? And what shmup really got you into shmups? I actually did not answer myself, but
Oh yeah, go for it.
I think I've actually told the story before, but I'll do it pretty quick. And if you guys call, you can just leave it ringing, and we'll pick it up eventually. But yeah, basically we'll just kind of go with it. But anyways, my story, I'll do it really quick. Basically, so in 2006, I used to go to a barcade called Flaherty's with a bunch of my friends. We played like DDR, I think Max 2 there, and then my friends also played Soul Calibur 2 and then Soul Calibur 3 as well. We played those games pretty successfully.
Okay. Like fighting games and rhythm games. Okay.
Yeah, so we played DDR and Soul Calibur. I didn't get into Soul Calibur as much as my other friends, so I was kind of like when they were playing Soul Calibur and then I didn't feel like playing DDR. I didn't really have much to do besides just kind of hang out or whatever, right? But this arcade actually also had a Ryan Fighter's Jet cabinet, and I basically originally for at least like a couple of years at this arcade, I would just watch people play the game, and I would always be interested in kind of like what was going on, because it's like with a shmup, you know, if before you really get into the genre, like we always have, I think when the casual person looks at it, it's just like you understand that it's just a very, you know, it's a shmup, you know, it's
it's very just, simple in the core.
It's just it's just your ship and then shooting, blowing stuff up. Like that's cool to the casual observer. So I would just watch Ryan Fighter's Jet. But eventually, I actually caught on to some people like talking about scoring, and actually I would watch people who were like, I caught on that people were actually like doing scoring tricks. And so at first for me it was like I didn't know what was going on, so I had to, I actually had to ask someone, kind of what's going on with these tricks and stuff. And then I think finally like one guy, he kind of like showed me the ropes a little bit with Ryan Fighter's Jet. Like you gotta, build up the medals in the first stage, because I'd always be people be doing that to get the gold medals in the second stage. But basically, yeah. So it occurred to me that the game could be played for score. I was playing it every now and then, but only for survival, so I didn't know. But once I knew you could play for score, like I was just hooked on that Ryan Fighter's Jet. And there was it was like a summer or like a couple years that I went to this arcade, but at one point I was just like hooked on Ryan Fighter's Jet, and I would go there and play for like 4 hours a day, smoking clove cigarettes.
Ooh, smoking clove cigarettes.
Not very
Jarums.
Jarums, yeah, we got the Jarums.
Oh,
back in the days when you could smoke in the bars and whatnot.
Dang. Looking all mysterious there.
But yeah, so I just I just grind it, and I played with like I played with a bunch of the different ships. And I didn't really play Slave much, but eventually I did. But basically, yeah. So Ryan Fighter's Jet. Once getting into that, like I was actually getting scores like 50 million above that with the ships. And then it was basically just like I looked up Ryan Fighter's Jet, and then I looked up I found the Shmups forum, and that was in 2007. And then basically from there was like a huge fascination. Like I got a Dreamcast, and then I burned like every single shmup on there. And I'm still trying to get through those. I've actually been playing Dreamcast lately on VGA. It's been pretty awesome.
Wow, nice.
Do some shmups on there. So that's basically my story. It was pretty awesome, and it was pretty awesome. Just like going through that like obsession phase. 'Cause I think that happens with a lot of people when you finally realize like these games can be played for score or for 1cc. That's not always apparent.
No, it's not.
Okay, so we got some calls. Coming in.
All right, let's take the callers then.
All right, yeah. So our first call is going to be from EKBMRB.
Oh.
Oh God. I think they failed this Skype thing, and I'm now here all alone.
Hey, sorry about that. I meant to add him. I guess that didn't work out. Let me try this again.
Okay. Technical difficulties on STG Weekly. You know,
As
you
usual.
know them, and you want them. It wouldn't be.
Maybe I
one.
will have to add him to the contacts. Let's see here.
Okay.
Oh, that was the other thing about AX that surprised me. We didn't have any actual technical difficulties during the panel.
Yeah.
Did you
it was
notice that,
crazy.
Fnatic? Like that, it actually
No.
worked.
Then you did
I
it
was
wrong.
So. Yeah. No, there was at the beginning when we were setting up. There was like
Yeah,
a
we were setting up. There was
definite
problems.
color thing.
Yeah, but throughout it was pretty much perfect.
Yeah. I was surprised. I mean, the whole experience was like when we first showed up, it was giant clusterfuck. But then, I guess that was the problem. You know, it
Yeah,
worked. It
that
worked out.
was the
There
big
was
problem.
the technical.
Well,
bit.
getting the badges was the freaking problem. Remember?
There you go.
So
There
we
you go.
paid our dues before that. So.
Okay, I'm adding EKB MRB here.
All right.
Okay.
Sweet.
So we're calling him. Hello, EKB MRB 7500. How's it going?
Pretty good.
All right, good to hear.
Hey.
And yes, this is actually my voice.
Oh, okay.
We all have voices.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we didn't, it would be kind of weird.
It
But
would
yeah,
be
your
fun.
mic sounds fine, so we're all good.
So,
yeah, okay.
should we formally ask him then? Okay, so what was the first shmup that got you into shmups, EKMRB?
I think it was Ikaruga.
Oh, like soft drink, huh?
I think Softring said that was his first.
It was the first one I took seriously. But I mean, I think I've kind of always been interested in them. Like I said, when I was growing up riding and such.
So, but yeah, you're part of the Ikaruga crop, basically.
Yep.
What did you like about it, EKMRB?
I think it was maybe it was the polarity stuff.
The polarity mechanic, huh? Huge what?
I think that's the big thing about Ikaruga. But then like the presentation, too, I think sucks you in.
Yeah, it's got a very good kind of narrative feel to it, and the polarity thing, it doesn't really come across as gimmicky. It really feels like they designed the whole game around it, and I think that's part of why it's successful for a lot of people.
So was it basically the first shmup you played?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
So when was this? Was it kind of recently when it got a lot of hype because of the Xbox release, or
When it came out on the GameCube.
when it came out on GameCube? Gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it got a fair bit of press then too, if I remember.
Yeah. Yeah,
So, like-
I remember, I can't remember what it was. It was sometime before the Xbox release. I was like, yo, I heard about Ikaruga, I should, try and find this game. So I ran around to a couple GameStops in the area and was like, yo, you guys got Ikaruga? And they're like, no, we haven't had that in forever. That sells out whenever we get it. I'm like, dang. But then the Xbox release came out, and I was like, oh shit, we've got Ikaruga in here. And then I played it, and then I got burned out, and then I stopped playing.
Ikaruga?
You got it for asking, you shall receive. So
Yeah.
that's right, the GameCube version came out. I forgot about, because people talk about hey, Dreamcast came out, right? You forgot about Ikaruga on GameCube.
Yeah, and GameCube had actually that did get a lot of press from IGN or something. Didn't have a quote from that on the box. Wait, I remember.
Yes, frothing
this. I remember
demand.
this. Our frothing demand
IGN
for this game increases.
Yes, IGN quote.
IGN.
Because IGN it was basically the shit back then.
Yeah, exactly.
Still the shit.
And it's still shit. but-
Still the shit. Alright, so yeah, EKB, did you pick up on the scoring system right away for Ikaruga? How
Nope.
was it for you originally? Were you just kind of playing it shooting stuff basically?
Yep.
Okay. When did you find out that it's chaining and stuff?
I think around the Xbox 360 release.
Okay, so that's
So did you
the
play
gap of
other
time
games
there.
in that intervening time, or did you just play Ikaruga for that period, or did you
I
just play it a
played
little
our
bit and then
games.
stop it? Okay. So how did you kind of progress with the genre? I mean, you said you started with Ikaruga. Did you immediately start kind of seeking out other games, or was it just kind of?
I think I ended up getting the Gradius collection on PSP.
Okay, yeah.
That's true, because it has Gradius 2 on it. Yeah.
Was that your favorite?
I forget which one I liked the most.
Oh, I was asking Frenetic. But, I see. Okay. Play the Guys collection.
All right. Well, do you have anything more to say, or
Nope.
we don't want to kick you off, but we probably do have other callers. I think,
Yeah,
right, Aquas?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just exit the call.
Okay, we can
See
move
ya.
on. All right, thanks for
Bye now.
calling in.
Thanks so much for
Thanks for
coming on.
calling. Oh, EKMBR Mr. B.
Alright. Bye.
MRB. Okay.
See ya.
All right.
All right, yeah.
Here we go.
You only it doesn't need to be super advanced. You know, you can keep it simple. So we'll get some more calls.
Yeah, come
Here.
on in. Next time. More
We got
calls.
Chum calling right now, but I did have some
Yes.
other callers.
Okay.
We'll have Chum on for now. I'll get to you other guys. I'll try to get everyone who called. Because why
Yeah.
not? I did it again on accident. All right,
All right.
let me add him here.
Oh yeah.
We got
Hey, Jum.
What's up?
hello. Hey, Chum.
We have Chum. Chum who brought us soda machine.
Yeah, man, you you brought it. You
Yeah.
brought the HD. How do you feel about indirect HD?
HD.
I guess that's good.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Chum. So yeah, what's your story?
My epic story. Yeah, when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I was playing NES games all day. Lots of NES games up until I got my SNES. And one of the games I played the most was Gunsmoke.
Oh.
Yeah, Gunsmoke NES. That's actually the first game I ever beat in my life when I was like 5.
You beat Gunsmoke?
Yeah, but
Wow.
it's Gunsmoke on NES is not that hard. And I did use continues, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
But you were 5, so.
Yeah,
Still
I don't
very
even
impressive.
know if I knew my own name
That was the
at
first
5.
game you beat.
yeah, it was the first game I ever beat. I
Yeah.
remember like it was yesterday.
Dude.
Like it's amazing. I was so proud, and I kept bragging about it to like my brothers and stuff.
Oh
I
yeah. 'cause
And what did they say when you told them? You're like, I smoke Gunsmoke.
I don't know, but I know. I just remember I was really proud about it.
Gun smoked.
Gunsmoke. Yeah.
That was my favorite games when I was a kid. And
What kept you coming back to it as a young kid? Was it like? That's interesting.
Well, if you
know?
ever to like understand like you know beating a game like that.
Well, I mean, I didn't really. I mean, I was just a kid. I didn't really think about like genres or whatever. I just was like, this game is cool,
Yeah.
you know. But I also played some bad games and didn't realize how bad they were, like Ikari Warriors. But you know, I was just a kid. So if I play Gunsmoke NES today, I'm just like, this is kind of boring. But back then, it was like heaven.
Yeah.
And then I remember that I had a Game Boy with quite a few games, and one of the games I played the most on my Game Boy was Solar Striker.
Oh man.
That was another game that I was really proud when I beat it. And like just looking back at how much I enjoyed the shmups I had as a kid, it just makes me wish I had more of them. But those are what I had. Those are the only two I remember actually playing whatsoever.
Right.
But all right, yeah. What I actually really got into was Toho 6 in 2010. That's what really got me into the genre for real. And yeah, it was just like an unreal feeling getting into that game. It was just like, wait, what? Games can be this ridiculously awesome? I didn't really know that. I wasn't really a gamer, but I found that game and I thought it was so amazing that I just had to play more shooting games after that.
Which one is 6?
That's embodiment of Scarlet Devil.
Yeah.
It's just a combination of the the bullet hell and just the wacky dialogues and good music and just hit me right there. So I played more of the series, and eventually I was like, I gotta play more of these games. So I found on these Bat Rider, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, Rising is awesome, Cave is awesome, and then like.
It all kind of snowballs like once
Yeah,
you
like-
kind of have like one game that you get into.
Yeah, like first I found Toho 6, then I played more of the series, then I was like Armed Police Bat Rider, and then it was like Cave,
Yeah.
and now it's just like oh, shit. This whole genre is just amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like when you get into it, you really do got to find the games that kind of resonate with you, because
Yeah.
there are so many of them and so many different scoring systems, and some don't look that cool, and whatever it may be, we all have opinions, but it's just like there's so many of them that usually you can find something that.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of
resonates.
mediocre games, but it's just so fun to just try out many different games, see what sticks.
Well, and it's like just because shmups, are arcade games, and they're fun by design of money
Yeah,
making.
that's the thing that just made me love the games. Like I just wanted the challenge. Like before that, I didn't really think of games as a challenge. I just thought of them as some kind of storyline based narrative that you just have to go through, like just holds the player's hand. And so when I found Toho 6, I was like, this is what I need. This is what I want. I want a good challenge.
Yeah, you want some game to tie you up and whip you. you know?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted to work hard at clearing the game. Like that's what I needed at the time.
Yeah. So it was like regular vanilla games weren't doing it for you. You wanted like the dominant, the BDSM of games, which I think
That's kind of
shmups
relationship.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's not that point, but I think the point about a lot of other games being really narrative driven, kind of hand holding, I think that is a really relevant issue. One of the reasons that I think shooting games and other kind of arcade games are kind of coming back. I mean, if you look at the fighting game scene, for example, it's really gotten big in the last few years in a way that it kind of wasn't before. I think one of the reasons that they're coming back is that gaming is kind of really heading in this very narrative dimension. I mean, sometimes it works phenomenally well. You look at games like The Last of Us, which I played and I loved. I mean, I thought it was a great story, but I don't want to play it again. I have no drive to play it again. It maybe like someday if I forget the story, if I forget the characters, like a movie.
You're like, you like to hit it and quit it, right? You're like.
But it's like, it's I feel like there's an emphasis now on this idea of using games to tell a story, which on the one hand can be really great, but on the other, it kind of removes their aspect as games, if that makes any sense. I mean, part of what defines a game for me is the ability to kind of make it your own, in the sense that, you do have to overcome obstacles. You do have to, plan your own path through it. And you look at things like, what was the other example I was thinking of? Like BioShock Infinite, for example. BioShock Infinite was a line. It was literally like a perfectly linear game. And it was not particularly innovative in gameplay. It was not particularly innovative in in its plot presentation. It was just really pretty and really well put together, and it told an interesting story. But I think that a lot of people are kind of starting, in the public and kind of the greater gaming world are starting to kind of catch on to that idea, and that's why you see kind of a resurgence in the popularity of these kind of intense competitive games or intense skill-based games. Like we've seen with fighting games, and like we're seeing with the popularity of
and what else? Arena games like Dota, which are the finals are going now.
StarCraft was pretty huge.
Yeah, just to frame
StarCraft.
that discussion, I read a little bit of game theory, and they talked about that called like narrativology versus like ludology in games. So they call about like the ludistic properties of games. So if you guys want to read about that more, look up ludology, and that'll talk about games versus the narratives in games, which that hasn't been discussed yet. Maybe another topic for another podcast in the future, like about narratives in shmups.
I think that's
Why
probably.
they're
Well, yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things about shmups is just the desire for challenge, and the fact that shmups offer a challenge which is really unique and satisfying to the genre. Like for me, before I actually got into playing like Ryan Fire's Jet and et cetera, before that I was playing like Counter-Strike, 1.6.
Yeah.
And for me, like that was something you played every day. I kind of like grinded, I got a little bit better. And with FPS games, for me, like that was like trying to get better at a game. And of course you're against other people. Those are team based. But with fighters, people, the challenge against other people is the kind of driving factor. But with shmups, you have the drive against the developer or yourself, which is the game, which is a big difference. But the similarity is that they both offer challenges, but shmups have the unique one in that it's a shmup. It's scrolling.
It occurs to me that as much as I love this line of thought, we should probably kind of put this kind of discussion off to maybe another episode of this kind of series, because we do have a couple other people who I think are waiting to call in.
Okay, we got some other call-ins.
So thanks so much for coming on, Chum.
Cool topic,
thanks for
though.
bringing Soda Machine to us, Chum.
Thank you very much.
Chum.
Jeez, you're embarrassing me.
We love doing that here on STG Weekly. Embarrassing ourselves and embarrassing others.
Okay. All right, thanks, Chum. Well,
Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chum.
All right, we'll get someone else in here.
Next caller.
Did it again. All right, all right, we're gonna get Starman after this, and then after Starman, I'll have Chibi UFO just so that she knows that she's coming up. It's just because Starman was calling right now.
Hey, Chibi's back.
So Chibi, hang around, please.
Yes.
All
Mars needs women.
I'm gonna go for 1 second. Be right back.
Okay. Hey, Starman, welcome to the STG Weekly Podcast, first one. How's it going?
Hi. How are you, boys? I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
Oh yeah, this is fun. This is the first live show I've finally been able to catch. For some reason, I'm
Really?
being followed by STG Weekly on Twitter.
It's because I follow everyone that follows that account.
Yeah.
Now you
follow me.
I
I'll
can
follow
feel less
you
special.
back.
First
So,
live show,
Starman.
cool, and then you made it on the show, so that's pretty epic.
Yep.
All right.
Starman.
So what's your story? What shmup did you first like, or which one got you into the genre?
Like your last caller, Chum. I mean, it was an NES in the early '90s. So, I mean, before Clinton was president. So, I had whatever used games my dad or uncle got a hold of those. So it was Life Force. I didn't have Gradius. I didn't play Gradius 1 until I saw it on a Play Choice 10 when I was in 8th grade. But yeah, Tiger Heli, I don't like that game. Same with Xevious, I do not like that game very much. I guess you could call it a shmup, though. A game called Captain Skyhawk that was made by Rare when they were still being published through Milton Bradley. It's kind of like a shmup. It's got a neat boss tune, but that's about it.
I know that game. That was one of my personal favorites.
I stole that game brand new out of a box of Christmas presents that was for my uncle, because my aunt uncle had an NES. Like, I had all my aunt's old Nintendo Powers from their first couple years. Like, it even had a like the maps for Life Force and everything, a big fold out too. I wish I still had that thing, but yeah, I took that game.
So
like, take that, uncle.
You're just like mooching like these great games off of your aunts and uncles.
Yeah, well, they were just all like, whatever, you can have it.
Yeah.
That's
how
cool,
you
though.
gotta take it. You gotta take it.
It's nice when you have the advantage of like an older relative, I guess, with games when you're growing up.
Yeah. Other than that, though, I mean, I've been pretty exclusively Gradius. I mean, I played Gradius 3 once at a used game store, and then it was just kind of like, oh yeah, I've heard of this before, and just kind of back in my mind. And then I started getting into emulation late middle school, early high school, and it was like, oh, there's a Gradius. Ooh, what's Gradius 2? That looks great, though, and it took a while to play that because I couldn't find an emulator that would run it. It would look like crap. And then I got a PS2 and Gradius 3 and 4. Ooh, let's check this out. And I learned, oh, there's arcade versions and console versions, and the arcade version is making me want to stab someone.
That's right, Shmups, the game that makes you want to stab people.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of revived that interest in shmups, though, and then Gradius 4
and
became my favorite Gradius game.
Yes, man, Gradius 4 is the best one.
It's my favorite. Gradius 5 is amazing, and Gaiden are great, but 5 or 4 is just my favorite. If it weren't 4, it'd probably be 2. I don't know, but yeah, now it's now to the point where I have a handful of the game soundtracks that I've imported. I have the Salamander anime, probably pirated, but I have it. It was region free. I saw it on eBay for like $5. I was like, shit, why not?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of that. It gets pretty like deep with like history and stuff and like war politics.
It's dumb. That's what it is. That's all that matters.
Kind of dumb.
Yeah, and you know.
But that's
God
cool. So big Gradius and Salamander
Yeah.
fan. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank God for GameStone too.
GameStone was that game service.
No, GameStone, the Gradius Homeworld.
Oh, it's a website.
Oh yeah, this website's been around for like 14 years, if not longer.
Oh,
I hadn't heard of
I've
it.
never heard of it.
Oh yeah, GameStone.co.uk. They have high-res scans of like just like the arcade instruction books and stuff like that. You guys got quite the collection.
Is it still around? I'm going.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I just went to it. It's there.
Oh, the Gradius Homeworld. Is this the Gradius Homeworld technically?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I kind of remember this site.
Oh yeah. That guy's got high-res scans of all kinds of stuff, information on all the music, everything.
That's
Everything.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take that
Yeah.
out because I love me some Gradius.
Yeah, it was through that website that I found out about Gradius 5, and it was just like those initial 2 screenshots. It's like, why are the options shooting at an odd angle? What is this game? What is this game gonna be? Oh my god! Oh god!
Sweet. So you're just kind of riding the Gradius obsession for a little bit. When did you kind of find out about like bullet hell and stuff? I guess. Then? Unless there's more in between.
Right around while waiting for Gradius 5, you know, just knowing some people on GameFAQs, you know, they would, you know, I started talking to one of them on MSN, and he was pretty big on ikaruga.co.uk, so just kind of learning about that. And then,
Gotcha.
you know, although, you know, I know I had a GameCube at the time, though, but I had no desire to get it because I looked at it and just went, this game looks insane. It is, because I have tried it a couple times. It's not for me. I'm a little too casual. Like, it's interesting listening to hear about, you know, when you go from just playing for survival to scoring, and that's not for me either, though. Like,
So you're talking
what's
about which game are you talking about for score?
just any shmup.
Oh, any of them. Okay, so that's kind of why you like the Gradius ones because they're just straightforward.
Yeah, they're pretty
survival.
straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean, score all you want, but it's just kind of just go.
It's just just go.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was that way for a long time actually because I was really into the Gradius series, and it's just like with the Gradius games, it's just you want to just beat them, you know, and that's really satisfying if you can.
Yeah, and I've been trying to do a Gradius thread over at Something Awful too, though. Just trying to put that together. I put up the
Sweet.
hated GIF in the chat. I'll share it with you people, but
yeah.
just trying to do an LP mega thread with everybody, contests and stuff. It'll be fun.
Awesome.
It'll be fun. Just one credit the games, and for some reason I cannot play Gradius 1 past 5 minutes. I don't know why. I can one credit the game, but for some reason it's like, no, you're gonna die in stage 2 all the time.
Are you getting more than 2 options by then?
No. I actually watched your video too. It just kind of, it was nice to just talk about recovery and all that, because I know a lot of people whine about shmups in general, like, oh, they're impossible to recover. No, they're not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be more than 2 stages long.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, you got to realize that it's actually possible to come back a lot of the time.
Yeah. But, you know,
It is.
our videos tell jokes to each
So
other.
you say you're doing LPs. Like, could you talk a little bit more about that, or what this was? I guess I'm kind of curious.
Well, I did like a game called Descent 1 and Descent 2 a while ago, and it's just been like, oh, Gradius is fun, let's do that.
Oh, so you're moving on to Gradius now. Cool.
Oh yeah, all of them, why not? All of them, even Paradius.
Do them all.
Because Paradius is Ren and Stimpy, the anime edition.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind plugging your channel, or if you have a channel, you can plug that too.
It's just Starman Ivan.
Yeah, if you want to post a link in the chat, feel free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, you just record videos.
So you're
talk
still
about jokes.
So you're still just doing Gradius stuff then, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted to try R-Type though, but since I got my PS3, it was, oh, IREM took everything away. Have fun.
Oh, yeah,
And it was just
that.
kind of, I still can't figure out why did they do that. No one seems to know. So I was just looking up on eBay too what R-Types and R-Type Delta cost, and Delta disc only is about $50.
Yeah, Delta's pretty pricey. If you have a decent computer, though, Delta emulation actually works fairly decently through PS1 emulators. So
Yeah.
at least in my experience, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I know Gradius Gaiden has hangups on, even if you had a Japanese PS2 or PS3, it has a hangup somewhere. I know Gradius Deluxe Pack does as well. I don't know if Salamander does. I don't know, but I'm not really interested in buying a old Japanese Saturn just for 2 games.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you played any shmups for score? Like any of the scoring intensive ones?
I guess Gradius 5 is, though. I pre-ordered Gradius 5 from GameStop because it was going to come with the breakdown DVD.
Yeah.
And by the time I got it, they were late on their pre-orders, though, so I got it about 2 days before the high score contest ended.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no time to do it, though.
Yeah.
It really pissed me off.
That's annoying.
Yeah, that really took me off. Other than that, I don't know what games I've played, though, that have a lot of scoring, really.
I see. So, yeah, so the table's pretty open for you right now.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
good.
that's my
That's good
problem. Is
time.
like I pick one, and then I stick with it for about 15 years, and then maybe I'll go try something else. And it's like, oh, wow, okay, and then put it away and go back to old reliable.
Gotcha.
Well, it's good that you have a game that you can feel kind of that strongly about. It's always nice to have something that you can kind of come back to like that. You know, you can explore for a bit and then come back. I'm not sure the time scale that you're working on is conducive to everyone's normal schedules, but yeah, you know, the idea is good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh god, yeah. And my problem too, you know, being from the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, you know, you have no one to really share shmups with. Just kind of every once in a while, you can drag someone who's like, "Oh, play 2-player Gradius. This game's amazing," and then that's it. And they just look at you like, "What is this game?" or something. I'm going back to Halo. No, don't.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you gotta be rabid, induct them into the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to like convince someone though, just right off the bat. Like that, like it's worth like you know dying over and over sometimes.
Well, I mean, it'd be Gradius 5 on free play though, so it's just like, oh, don't worry about dying, just go.
I think Gradius 5's pretty fun in general, so
it's just long.
I've had people join me for co-op on that, and they're like, "Yeah, this is cool," but then they game over or whatever.
Yeah, that's when you just I'm like, "Don't worry, it's free."
Yeah.
There you
I think I'll get Duck out so you can let your next caller on.
Okay, well, Starman, I want to
Yeah.
sing. Since you came on, I want to sing. The F-Man wants to sing David Bowie's Starman, the chorus, to send you off. Okay.
Wow.
So here goes.
I love that song.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children forget. Thanks,
I'll
Starman.
take that to my grave.
Thanks so much for coming on.
We
man.
Sure you
sing it
will.
back wedding.
All right, thanks. You guys have a good day.
Yay, Starman.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Good stuff there. All right. We got Chibi UFO coming on.
Yay,
Right.
Chibi UFO!
Past guest on shows. Hey, Chibi.
There we go. Hey,
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome, Chibi.
thank you.
Haven't had you on the show for a while.
Yeah, I know. It's been a little bit.
We're gonna have to have you on again at some point.
Thanks.
So, how's it going? How's it going?
Pretty good. Just playing random video games. Just Yeah, chilling out.
Hell yeah. So entertain us with your story. I know you probably have some. There.
Sure, no problem. Well, I just want to ask this just to make sure again, but is this really about my first shmup ever played, or what got me into shmup?
It can be first. You can do first shmup.
Okay,
and
I can do. It's kind of a little bit of a mixed thing. It's not. It's not too long or anything. But anyways, this isn't my first ever memory of a shmup, but I feel like it's the one that still kind of sticks by me, even when I go back to those memories of like being a kid. I think I was about 5 or 6 years old. I was on vacation with my family, and we were at my grandmother's cabin by this lake in the next province over. Anyways, where her cabin was, there was this little convenience store that was about 2 blocks down the road from her cabin. And my brothers and I would go to it constantly. And it was a cute little convenience store. It was also, I think, part of a hotel. It was a nice building, and it was really relaxing. But anyways, near the hotel entrance and right next to the convenience store entrance, it's this little hallway. There was this little cocktail cabinet, and the game in that cocktail cabinet was Star Force.
Oh man!
And I think that's probably one of my first memories of a shmup, in a sense of like that I can remember, because even when I go back to play that game today, like I know it's super simple, but I love it. It's such a charming game. The music's really memorable and charming. I love that little startup theme. That just, that really just gets you. It's like, I love that theme. Yeah. Like the way it sounds in the arcade version is especially just so much.
And when you get the power up, it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets all hyper, and it's like, this is so.
It's like really, getting a star in Mario.
It really, and I think the music that game in general just really perks you up. It's like, this is so good. But yeah. That's one of my first memories of a shmup, and I love the simplicity of it. I love the, just flying around and shooting things, the sound effects, the graphics.
Sound effects are awesome in that game.
Even the graphics in that game are really nice. Like, the animations are well polished, nothing seems too kind of stiff.
I think the stars even, like, glitter in the arcade version.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's, like, the little small things like glittering stars in the background. It's just like, this... And that game also kind of brought up my love of cocktail cabinets. Like, basic arcade cabinets are nice, but there's something about a cocktail cabinet. Like, it's so subtle. Like, you just think, it's a table. Then you look down and it's, there's some light coming out. Like, it's a video game. That's so awesome.
There is something charming about it, huh?
Yeah, like, you don't even see it because it's just like a little table. It's like, it's a table, whatever. But you turn around, like, there's light coming out of the table. Whoa! Oh my god, video games! You go in and you just start playing and it's, yeah. Star Force, one of my first memories of a shmup, and I still love it today. Charming little game. I'll fire it up on MAME and play it through, and I'm like, this game is a solid game. Even today, there's a lot of charm in it. Tecmo, before they became Tecmo, that was one of their kind of big games, and I think it still sets up as just being a solid game. But one of the games that kind of got me into shmups as a subgenre, or just as a genre in itself.
Yeah.
It's a game that actually, I don't think it's really much of a pro series of games, but Thunder Force. And funny enough, a couple of months ago, I was on the episode for the Thunder Force series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thunder Force Showcase.
And I think for what really grabbed me for that series and what sort of got me into shmups in general was just, it was everything in the Thunder Force series. The presentation, the graphics, the soundtracks, the sound effects, the gameplay, the controls, the bullet patterns, the weapons you get with your ship, the power-ups you get. It's everything. And I think that's, in general, what always attracts me to a shmup. It's everything. It's not just like, the spaceships you get, or the ships, or the shooting patterns, or, if it, in the case of being a quote-unquote bullet hell game, the bullet patterns that shoot, and how you measure them, and how you stay from not getting shot, and how you sort of move along with them. It's everything. And
I think I see what you're saying is the whole with shmups, since they're simple, you get the whole picture basically.
Yeah, and it's
when
weird
you play
because
them.
That's almost never a thing for me with video games. I mean, there are some genres I'm like, it is kind of everything that gets me into it, but I feel like shmups is that only genre that really is everything for me. It's not just like, the soundtrack, or the graphics, or the ships, or the shooting patterns. It's literally is everything. And and I think through Thunder Force, I kind of got into the Gradius series, and through Gradius, I kind of got more into some more intense shmups, and how I discovered stuff like Toa Plan and Cave, and it's weird. And another company that I got into in shmups is Saikyo. I love Saikyo, love their games. I know there may not be the most advanced of strategy games for shmups, but I still think they have a lot of charm. I think they have a lot of that sort of old school arcade, charm, and I think a lot of them still kind of stand up as being fun, solid games. But
so it sounds like the theme for you then is just that shmups just tend to be great presentations for video games, which is really true.
The weird thing is just like shmups is one of those things where if you watch a video on the internet, it'll actually keep you interested because you're just like, wow, there's so much like going on right now. There's ships flying, there's bullets being shot over the place, there's person trying to move through a bunch of little patterns,
There's the backgrounds which can be animated and stuff.
And there's like a billion
cow
layers.
eating grass.
Oh, and another thing that I love, I think, speaking of graphics and shmups that attracted me, it's scrolling. The scrolling backgrounds. I've mentioned this, I think I said this on Twitter a few months ago, but I love parallax scrolling in backgrounds. I don't know why, I just think that looks so cool. When the clouds are just shooting by, it's like, oh my god, that looks so neat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think when it comes to quote-unquote like pro tier of shmups, or I guess for some of the hardcores if they call it that, what kind of got me into that series of shmups was a certain Cave series. Cave, great game, great company. They made a lot of really great different styles of shmups, a lot of good games. But the series that kind of got me into Cave in general, into that level of shmups, is Donpatch. And what I liked about Donpatch is I love how it has a lot of very pro sort of styles of gameplay, but it also, I think, attracts a lot of newcomers because of how it makes it kind of has the feeling of an older sort of a style of a shmup, like a Saikyo shmup. But it also introduces you. It sort of spoon feeds you, like, okay, well, here's what makes these levels of shmups, and it kind of spoon feeds you the details. But then, as it's spoon feeding you, it's kind of evolving into bigger spoons, where you're just like, oh, okay, I get it now. This is what makes these games so interesting to those sort of players. Like, this is what the advanced strats are, and this is how they make sense. And that's something I've always loved about the Donpatch series, is that like it kind of has both the levels of gaming, where it's like a lower level and a higher level, and it combines them, and it's great.
So you're talking about, of course, the very first Donpatch.
Oh yeah, So. I know the later games get a little weird, but I don't know. Even the later games, I still dig them.
But the first one is a good game, though, because I think what you're getting at is the first few stages in that game are a little bit on the easier side.
Yeah, like it kind of gets you in nice and easy, where it's not like it doesn't just sort of slam it in your face. It's like, come see what makes, these higher types of shmups so interesting to people.
And the game did have nice graphics and interesting soundtrack
good gameplay. The controls are great. Everything about it's just really solid.
And in the first few stages, you can kind of see the scoring system come into play a little bit too.
And you understand why these like games appeal to that sort of audience, like what scoring is, why it's so interesting, why people do this competitively, why people do this, period. And then, of course, this is just a small thing for me, but gotta love that little voiceover commentary for the first Donpatch. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that announcer, dude. That guy is awesome.
Look at what we got here. A multi-assault carrier. Watch yourself, kid.
Oh god, I love that.
Keep your finger on the trigger, rookie.
I don't know why, but I'll usually be in a call with some of my friends who are into shmups, and then, like, out of nowhere, we'll just start doing that. Like, out of nowhere. Like, look what we got here, and then someone else will say, and it's like, oh god.
I like when you game over, was it like, thank you for playing. Bye.
Oh, that's so nice. Like, thank you.
He's like, bye.
Why don't you try
I'm glad I
hard?
sat down and played. That's very nice.
Instead of like they totally insult you, like you need more practice. They're like, oh shit.
Like, you tried your best, you did.
Yeah, so when you game over, it says, why don't you try harder? But like, I heard if like you have like some type of cheat or something, like, and you do something, when you game over, it does not say, why don't you try harder? Can anyone confirm this?
I need to check. I need to check that.
Because I heard like if you, I don't know, do something like crazy, which actually can't be done by a person.
Done by like some sort of weird.
It doesn't say it. Well, I don't know. I thought you guys might have knew.
I feel like I've heard that before, but I don't know if it's exactly like true. That sounds like it could be though, because I know a lot of those like either early cave games or those cave games in general, they'll kind of do that where like if you do something like cheating or if you do a certain thing, they'll kind of give you this weird little message like, oh hey, we noticed that you did this, so that's a little weird. It's like, what? What is this, self-aware? What is this? Like, I'm playing a video game here and it's like, hey, I noticed you did this thing on that level. That was pretty sneaky. It's like, what?
Cool. Alright, cool. So, yeah, we kind of got your story there.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. Just, what I think my first memory of a shmup was, and just what kind of got me more into the higher levels of shmups, and, what keeps me interested.
Well, one last thing, Chibi. Since you are female, what do you think?
Oh man, gotta get that.
Gotta get the female gamer perspective, but in all seriousness, like shmups is a very male-dominated thing. Like
Well, gaming in general is, but yeah.
I was gonna say,
I think it's just a manifestation of that.
Yeah.
Male-dominated.
But
So,
especially
Chibi,
shmups.
Are you a fake gamer girl or are you a real gamer girl?
Yeah. Yeah.
You better answer correctly, otherwise I'll do something.
That's right, or else you won't really represent the pop. But we just want to get your what can as a shmup guys can welcome women to the genre like?
I think this could be done for a lot of gaming communities in general. Just be a positive, decent person. You don't have to try too hard. Just try your best, but don't be don't like overdo it. Just be a decent person. Show some recommendations if they show interest. And I don't know, like
treat
just
them like humans.
Yeah.
Apparently, we need to learn how to
No,
respect women.
That makes too much sense. Nope, sorry. Makes too much sense. Get out of here. You make too much sense. That's
Sorry.
How dare you make sense in this thing about
Get
general
back to the
things?
kitchen.
Life may go to the kitchen, but she got a PSP, play some portable gradius in there.
Here, go to the kitchen, make me some pie, but take this PSP with Gradius collection or
Yeah, brush up on your skills.
Yeah, I know.
Or make me a pizza.
Come back when you get on a scrub.
Oh, you're still playing friggin' Ordine? Scrub.
I've been trying to beat Ordine for 5 years.
And it's funny I reference that because that's one of my other favorite shmups. I know that's another very kind of a casual game, but I love the soundtrack. Great soundtrack in that game. But no, it just didn't kind of... Yeah. Good composer. Great composer. But yeah, just didn't get back into that. No, just, be a decent person, be inviting, but, just kind of show what it is. Show some beginner level shmups, just kind of show like, hey, this is what I think,
Show them cute 'em ups, right?
I guess that
Okay.
can work too. If they are into that, because I know some people may be into that, some people may not.
Yeah.
Just,
Everyone loves cute stuff, though.
Oh, yeah, of course, it's cute stuff. Be a decent person, try your best with it, but don't try too hard. Just be a decent person. I think that's all you can really do in general, is
Okay.
just be a decent person.
Gotcha. You hear that, guys out in Shmupland? Be nice guys. Come on.
Want to show
Come
your
on, man.
fellow female gamer, like, hey, this is what I find interesting about shmups. Just, be a decent person and then show them some things, some videos, whatever.
Respect your waifu. I keep on derailing the moral message here.
Aquas is uncomfortable with real talk.
My waifu is Ordine. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
But no problem. Thank you for asking me that, Frenetic. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming.
doing this.
Good, simpler response. Thanks, Chibi. We'll have you on probably at some point in the next couple months.
Yeah.
So
Wicked. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.
take care.
Take care, dude.
Later.
Okay, I suppose we can get one more caller in if anyone else wants to call in. I'm
1
not sure,
hour,
but...
54 minutes.
Okay, no more then.
Okay, all right.
All right, we're wrapping it up.
Yeah,
right.
well, guys, I guess I thought we would only go for an hour, but man, we could just go for such a long time.
When you add the guests, that's a good half
Yeah.
hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Good time.
And we'll have.
I think this format really worked well. I mean, I think that was a lot of fun for us and for everyone who came in and talked as well. I hope you guys
enjoyed that. Post a
that.
thread about this in Shmups forum, so guys come on down and like give us some criticism, like what worked, what didn't work, what would you like to see more of, what would you like to see less of. So
I think we definitely have ideas that we didn't get to implement in this first episode. But you know, as time goes on, we'll get better at this podcast format, and hopefully we're gonna do them at least once a month. Maybe we can do it more. Maybe it depends on kind of what's going on, but I think once a month would be good, because then we could actually kind of wrap up anything that's been happening in the shmup world, if anything has been happening. Although we didn't really talk about shmup news today.
Yeah, we'll save it for next episode.
There really isn't much.
You know, I think if we did something, you know, shmup news and then kind of moving into maybe questions right away, and even I think one of the things we talked about a couple times is bringing a lot of the STG Weekly guests onto one giant episode and just talking, which I think would be pretty neat.
Yeah,
that'd be so many, man.
Yeah, we would have to do some serious moderation.
Like my contact list for the show is so huge.
It is.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I would love to see just get a lot of popular people on here and just talk. I think it could be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see it though. I mean, if you have all these people that like blow up stuff, like what if we blow up each other?
I don't know, man. We'll just be cool. We'll just have
too much coolness in one area. I mean, it might be.
Okay.
It'll create a hole in the space-time continuum. You're like, nope, too many shmup players in one place.
Oh yeah. And then also, I'm gonna try to get this out in MP3 form as well, so people can be listening to this on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good
awesome.
idea.
Everyone loves to listen to podcasts if they have like a shitty job or something.
Yeah.
Where you can listen to music. Well,
or they just commute.
Yeah.
or something. Well, okay. Anyway, never mind that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you.
That'll do it. So.
Thank you everyone for watching. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good stuff. So, this will be the first episode of the STG Weekly Podcast. I don't know if we're going to call it that or what the official title will be, but we'll figure it out. Shmuppers of the Round Table. Let's raise our raise our swords.
I'm raising our sticks or pads or keyboards up.
And praise Merlin.
Praise Merlin.
I'll praise Yagawa, but you guys could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yagawa praises Merlin. Alright. Alright, thanks everyone. Alright, cut it, Soda.
Can't right now.
Alright.
Give me 1 minute.
Alright, okay, we need a couple minutes.
So,
we're coming up to 2 hours.
Wow, 2-hour podcast.
Wow.
And we thought we didn't have... Okay. So, yeah, we'll keep this going. I don't know.
Okay, I can cut it.